70th Maintenance Company, one of the active units up in Clackamas, Oregon. All four of these gentlemen are Iraq veterans and have been home for about a year now. Thank you for their service. Real quick, the Oregon National Guard / militia can trace its history to the 1890s. We helped chase Pancho Villa, Spanish-American War, World War I, and currently we have about 2,000 some odd troops in Iraq. Sorry. This is a 1918 Liberty truck, probably the only example in the United States that's regular operated for civilian viewing. Bob Prasco and Carolyn Highland are our operators, and it's the first military-built truck in the United States that was built to specifications for the military. We're very proud. It's the pride of our fleet up at the Oregon Military Museum in Clackamas. Followed by Mr. Steve Berg, 1942 M3A1 Stewart light tank. These things roamed in Africa, a little bit of Europe fighting the Germans, and I believe a little bit over in the Pacific Theater. Steve is the private owner of this vehicle. He's got more money than he knows what to do with, and never has an argument over parking space. I don't have time to go into a lot of details, so stop by our encampment. Steve will talk to you all day about what a superb job he's done with this vehicle. Next, Dale Newcomb has a 1942 1.5-ton Chevrolet cargo truck. Very rare, beautiful, restored vehicle. These were the workhorses of the logistics supply during the Second World War. Next, we have Mr. Chuck Walters and Steve Nada. They're 1942 Ford GPW with a Bantam trailer. They've done a ground-up restoration. If you're into the restoration field, this is a jewel here. They've done lots of work, very authentic. If you're into collecting anything, you understand when somebody does a superb job. And these two gentlemen certainly have done that with their vehicle. They spent a total of 38 months and probably lots of presents to the wives to get this done. Okay, moving along. Next, Ralph Yakins has a 1942 Ford GPW, another version. His is dressed up in Marine colors. So all you former Marines out here, here's a little bit of history for you. Ralph restored it in memory of his father, who was a USMC veteran, and the Jeep's been over 40 years in his family. The next vehicle is pretty unique, but it's a Jeep, just like you just saw. It's a GPA, general purpose amphibious. In other words, you can drive it into water. Unfortunately, you can't water ski behind it. It belongs to Mark Stevens. About 1,200 of these were produced, and they proved not to be as practical as possible. And then the U.S. built a 2.5-ton duck, the big floating cargo truck. But this was a predecessor for amphibious wheeled vehicles. Mark is the private owner and is certainly happy to talk about it if you have any questions. Next we have Mr. Roland Zog, driving a 1942 3/4-ton Dodge Command car. A flathead 6-cylinder, 95 horsepower. Roland is out of Sandy. He's flying the Swiss flag today in honor of Swiss Independence Day today.
I'm trying to film this for military.
And again, a superbly restored example with Zog putting in many hours. Thank you. Next we have another 1943 Dodge Command car, 3/4-ton. Commanded by gunner and with driver Mark Sechrist, and the boss behind the whole thing is Sunday. And these guys just returned from the Transcontinental Motor Convoy, which recreated the original 1990 cross-country convoy by Dwight Eisenhower, a total of 5,200 miles, which led to the establishment of the interstate system. Okay, pardon me. Next we have Brian Brand, 1952 M38 A1G with a recoilless rifle. And it's on display at the Western Antique Airplane and Automobile Museum in Hood River. Dan Radke with his 1954 Dodge M37 truck, and he uses this to haul veterans in various parades. This is a museum vehicle in the process of restoration. It's an M211 1952 cargo truck. Dave Brown, driving it, actually drove this when he was a young man in the Korean theater. Next, we have Jason Ball in his 1963 M116 Husky cargo carrier with the family in there and the dog in the back. This is a Chevy V8 350 automatic powered, and it's amphibious when everything is working. Remember, government, low bidder, you know. Hey, next, we have the 816 Wrecker, built 1969. These trucks are currently being phased out of the system. Us old mechanic guys like this vehicle because baling wire and duct tape are good repair parts and tools. The modern stuff has electronics on it, and if it breaks, we can't fix it. This truck did service in Vietnam and during the Cold War. The smaller cousin of it is this 1970 M35 2.5-ton cargo truck with an M105 trailer behind it. A typical supply or motor pool type vehicle hauling cargo. Last but not least, this is the current version of what your tax dollars are purchasing. It's an M1088A1 Stewart Stevens 5-ton tractor with Caterpillar engine in it. And this is the current, most modern vehicle coming off the production line. If you're watching the footage on TV, you'll see either this or a version with armored cab on it, performing service all through the different areas of deployment. I think that concludes my presentation. Again, I do want to thank all the veterans. On behalf of the Oregon National Guard, we're proud to be here and share some of our history with us and have a good day. Please remember our 2,000 plus deployed Oregonian citizen soldiers that are currently serving in Iraq and are here to help enjoy what we're enjoying this weekend. Thank you very much.